Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Angel K and I am back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can get a luxury apartment with a low credit score. Now, I'm going to mainly be talking about Atlanta in this area because I haven't moved to any other places, so I can't really speak for anything else. So before I get started with this video, I do want to tell you guys about this green tea mask that I've been using from Teami Blends. I am just so in love with it because it has my skin feeling so much better than it used to, and I used to have blemishes on my face and it's kind of fading away. You can't see them now obviously because I have some powder on my face, but you guys, I use this mask about 2 to 3 times a week and the changes it's made has just been incredible, and I still have so much left because the tube is just so thick and I'm just so in love with it. I really highly recommend it to you guys. If you're looking for a mask, something that smells good, that has natural ingredients, you guys are really gonna love this. And if you guys are going to go ahead and try and buy it, you can use my code. Now until the holidays, it's gonna be 20% off, AK20. And if you wanna use my 15% off discount code, that's just always gonna be there. You can use that anytime that you want. It's gonna be in the description box below as well. So you guys go ahead and get yours. It's really amazing and I recommend it to anyone. If you have blemishes, if you have rough skin, if you just wanna make it softer, oh, you guys are just gonna love it. So now to get started with this video, I'm just gonna get straight to the point, you guys. If you're looking for an apartment, the standard credit score that you should have is 550. That's what most apartments, if not all, that's what they look for, a 500 credit score. And if you don't know where to check your credit, I'm pretty sure most people do know, but if you don't, you can check it on this app called Credit Karma, and you can also check it on another app called Experian. On Credit Karma, it has 2 of your credit reports, 2 of the credit bureaus. It's called TransUnion and Equifax, and then Experian is its own separate, I guess, special credit bureau because it has its own separate app. But yeah, on those apps, it has 3 different scores, and I usually go by the lowest because I don't want to hurt my feelings and I don't want to go into some place thinking that, oh, I have this, I have that, knowing that it could be the lowest of them all. So yeah, those are the 2 apps that I use, and you really want to know what your score is. Just being an adult, like doing things, applying for stuff, just trying to live, be financially independent, open up credit cards and stuff. You just always want to know your score. So anyways, going into an apartment, when you're trying to apply, there's always going to be an application fee and an administrative fee. And if you apply and you get denied, you're always going to get your administrative fee back. But if you get approved, obviously you don't get anything back. You always want to ask what their policies are, because some apartments, even if their standard is 550, they might still deny you for other reasons that they don't tell you up front because they want to collect their application fee. So it's always important to ask as many questions as you can. That's what I do. I don't care if I seem annoying or not. I'm not wasting any money just to put money in y'all pockets, because especially at a luxury apartment, most, if not all, but most, it really varies. Most apartments will cost about $75 to like $200 for an application fee, and that's per person. So if you're moving alone, it's not that bad, but if you're with somebody else, it's really expensive just for you to lose it. So anyways, yeah, if you go into an apartment, some apartments might say your standard is 550, but the only way you can get past that, if you have lower than a 550, you really want to go to an apartment where they don't care about your score. Most apartments will say, hey, you know, our standard is 550, but we really don't look at that. What we really look at is that you don't have any evictions, you know, anything crazy on your credit score, on your credit report. You can't have like any crazy debt, you know what I mean? Like a faulty mortgage, or, you know, just anything that's really big. Student loans, of course, don't matter. Doctors, you know, hospital visits, anything like small like that really does not matter. But what they're looking at is if, you know, you've owned, or if you've been somewhere and you got kicked out, you didn't pay, you know, something that they can run into in the future. So you really want to look out for that. In this apartment that I'm in right now, it's so nice. If you guys haven't checked it out, check out my video of my apartment tour. I love this apartment, so cute. But this apartment specifically, is said, they told me that they don't look at the credit score. They're literally just looking at what's on your credit report. So when I found that out, I really thought that I should share it with you guys, because some people aren't aware of that. Some people think it really does go by your score. Also, if you do have a low credit score, sometimes you can get past it if you have high income. Now, I know that most people that watch my videos, we're not like CEOs of a major business, you know, we're not the next millionaire, billionaire, you know what I'm saying? So in terms of a high income, they would expect 6 times the amount of rent in a month. So let's say an apartment, let's say like you're looking for a luxury apartment and it's about $2,000. So the standard rate is 3 times the amount. You have to make at least $6,000 a month in order to be able to qualify to live in that apartment. So if your credit score is really, really low, and they do make exceptions if you have high income, most of the time they're gonna say it has to be at least 6 times the amount of rent. So if it's $2,000 in rent, you gotta make at least $12,000 a month. So yeah, that's just crazy. You know what I mean? That's a lot. That's a lot. You really got to be on a certain level. And if you're making that much money a month, why would you stay in an apartment? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, everybody, you know, people like different lifestyles, so I'm not here to judge. But those are really the 2 options that you have. If you have a low credit score, you really need to, you know, look at different options. Go to an apartment where they don't really look at your score. They look at your report and what's on it. I'm literally in a luxury apartment, and this apartment does not care about your score in itself. So I just love that. Like I said, your second option is just to have a really high income. Now your third option, which is like a backup plan, which I really wouldn't recommend, but it is an option. So you can get a cosigner. You can get somebody to sign the lease with you, which means if you end up not paying a month or you're late or something, it can affect them. I don't recommend that for obvious reasons, because I don't like to get other people involved in my stuff, you know what I'm saying? Even though I am responsible, I just feel like I just don't really like having to bring somebody else in my stuff, because anything can happen, and I wouldn't want to mess up somebody else's, not necessarily life, because it's not that serious, but I wouldn't want to mess up what they got going on and what they might want to do in the future because of my actions. So that is an option. You can either get a cosigner or a guarantor. It's a guarantor or guarantor. And basically, they have to make a certain amount a month too. I think it's like they have to make 6 times the amount of rent in a month as well. So that's just like, you gotta have like a lot of money if your credit score is gonna be low and you want a luxury apartment that is not gonna allow you to just slide by with certain things. You know what I mean? You gotta really ask them like what their policies are. And trust me, you guys, it's good to ask a lot of questions, because you just don't want to end up in a situation where you lose out on a bunch of money because you didn't know all the facts. And they're not always going to tell you certain things. They won't look out for you, okay? These people are here to just make their money as well. They probably do get paid for everybody that applies. They probably got some little specials going on in their company, so people apply at a certain day, blah, blah, so they're not going to tell you certain things, knowing that you might get denied. So it's always good to ask your questions. Ask them if they check your credit score or if they check what's on your report, you know. Just ask those questions so you're always informed, so you always know what's going on and what might happen in the future. And if you want to take that risk and you're not really sure what might happen, then that's fine too. You know, you can always do whatever you want, take that risk, spend that money. And one last thing I do want to talk about is if you just moved to an area like I did and you don't have a job yet, but you still want to get an apartment, obviously you're gonna have to have a job, because you got to show them stable income, and you got to show them the past few weeks, like the past, you know, few pay stubs that you have. And in my experience, I had literally just moved from what am I acting like I don't know where I moved from? I had just moved from New Jersey, and I didn't have a job in place. I literally just packed up all my stuff. Of course I had money saved up to fall back on, but I literally just packed up all my stuff and I moved, and I just had faith that I would find a job, because I wasn't going for anything crazy. I was going for like a regular, you know, retail or restaurant job, mainly restaurant because I've had restaurant experience. So anyways, so when I came, I stayed for like a month. renting out a room, and I was still applying to different apartments, but I still didn't have all those pay stubs to show them. So what you can do is you can get a letter from your employer basically stating that you make this amount per month. And I had 2 jobs at the time to kind of bring that all in to make enough for the rent, to make enough for the monthly income that they were looking for. And I basically just wrote it out myself. I wrote it out. I looked on Google like what it should look like and what it really needs to say. So I basically just copy and pasted it, changed a few words around, and I brought the letters to my jobs and I just asked them to sign it, to add the company logo, which they did, because I mean, they have no reason to not do it, because like, I'm just getting an apartment, you know what I mean? I'm not doing anything crazy and their name isn't really on it. So, you know, both my jobs were really cool with it. They were like, okay, here, whatever, get on my face. I'm like, haha, yay. So when I brought those to my apartment, they were just like, okay, cool, like this works. You know, they saw the company logo, everything was cool. Now, what you wanna do is, if you are doing it for 2 jobs, because I had 2 jobs, but if you are doing it for 2 jobs, you wanna make sure the letters are kind of different. I kind of made them almost exactly the same. And the lady at my leasing office at my first apartment, she was like, we were kind of cool in a way. Like, we were just kind of cool. So she didn't really like look at it like that. She was just like, oh, these kind of look the same, but you know, it's cool, it's whatever. So if you do it for 2 jobs, make sure that they are somewhat different. And I mean, for 1 job, obviously, you just make it look very professional. Don't just go on there talking like yourself. Make it really professional. Copy and paste from Google if you have to. And yeah, they just have your company sign it. But I was literally down here for like 2 or 3 weeks before I started applying to new apartments, because I was on it. I was like, I don't want to stay in this person's house forever. I'm going to get my own apartment. And so I just started looking. So yeah, that's basically it for the whole getting an apartment thing. If you guys have any questions, be sure to reach out to me. If you're moving to some other place, I really can't tell you about any other state. I can't tell you about Miami or Chicago or LA, like New York. I really can't tell you because I don't know. I'm pretty sure New York will be like a little crazier, but yeah, all my experiences that I talk about on my channel are from Atlanta, because I've only moved to Atlanta. Might move other places sometime soon, not really sure. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, I hope this video was informational. I hope you guys are successful in finding a nice luxury apartment. Sometimes it might take a while. Like, you know, if you first move somewhere, I wouldn't recommend just straight up going for a luxury apartment. If you do, what did I just say? A luxury apartment? I wouldn't recommend going straight to a luxury apartment, because I mean, you just kind of want to feel out the area. Like, you want to really make sure you're making the best decision. And I mean, who knows? Like, if that's what you're feeling, if you're used to that, then like, of course you don't want to just downgrade and go to like a regular apartment. So it's just whatever you guys want to do. But if you are moving out for the first time, I would recommend a regular apartment. Wait until that lease is up, go to your next apartment, which is like a nice luxury one, kind of what I did. And yeah, so with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was informational, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.